The Port of Portland recently added a new service that could help speed up the shipping process for local businesses in Oregon. We know that there's been a critical supply chain issue. It's been happening around the world throughout the pandemic.
Yeah, really impacting all of us.
Yep.
Fox 12's Sarah Hurwitz joins us now live with the very latest on these changes. Sarah?
Oh, yeah, here at the Port of Portland, there is an enormous amount of cargo that travels through here daily. The executive director tells us that its new second weekly service will hopefully create more opportunities for people to get their products to market. Stacks and stacks of containers at the Port of Portland, a hub for national and international commerce. And its executive director, Curtis Robinhold, says it's working to create more shipping opportunities.
What we've done in the last couple weeks is added new service, so a second weekly service. The second largest shipping company in the world has added a weekly service, so that will just provide more options for local farmers, manufacturers, exporters, and importers to get their products to and from Asian markets.
As part of the new service, Robinhold says it will be the first port of call from Asia in 20 years.
Essentially what you get is it's the first call in the United States of this vessel, so they're not stopping at other ports along the way.
The pandemic's had a devastating impact on shipping globally. In Los Angeles, miles and miles of cargo ships backed up and waiting as a result.
What we really saw with the pandemic is both from a healthcare side, people didn't show up to work, for example, or a lot of people got sick. Factories would then stop production, and so a number of supplies in the value chain could no longer be produced. If you imagine yourself waiting in a grocery store, the person who gets in front of you in line with a cart that's filled or two carts that are filled, it's going to take a really long time. So the line gets longer and longer, and it delays the movement of those goods.
Robinhold says the Port of Portland is mid-sized and has not felt as many of the severe impacts from the pandemic because it does not have the biggest vessels making a stop in Portland, as it's more difficult to get to the port through the Columbia River. But he is hopeful this additional service will help local businesses who've been trying to get local product to and from Asian markets. Roth Cooling and Heating is a perfect example of that. As its marketing director says, it's been tough to get certain parts from China throughout the pandemic.
It would take months and months to get here. And so someone who's saying, I need cooling tomorrow, we can say, well, we have a system, but we don't have these little parts that can actually hook it up to get it.
And the company is hopeful that the added service will help in its shipping.
I mean, really, it's just going to streamline things, right? Like the ability for us to look at our board, to get to customers faster and get all the products faster, that's going to be the main thing.
And that company you heard from there, Roth Cooling and Heating, also hopes that this added service will help in getting other things for their company, like work vans from overseas. Reporting live here in North Portland, Sarah Hurwitz, Fox 12 Oregon.